Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Dong Report, where I give out my favorite MLB home run picks of the day. As for today, I got 3 home run predictions for you guys. Real quick, before we can get into today's predictions, we first need to do a recap of yesterday, which was a pretty good day. Gave out 3 picks yesterday. We got one of those 3 to cash. We end the day plus 1.90 units. Although I will say, one of the players, Max Kepler, who didn't hit a home run, that was pretty frustrating because we had identified that game as a pretty juicy home run game. And the Twins scored 20 runs. Unfortunately, none of those home runs came from Max Kepler, so that one was an L. But we will take a day in the green plus 1.90 units. That brings our total profit on the Dong Report season to date up to 49.20 units with an ROI of 9.33%. That's quite good. So for today, as I mentioned, I have 3 more home run picks for you guys. Before I get into it, again, real quick, if you're not already, would appreciate it if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel, give this video a like, and then comment. Let me know if you're tailing. And let's get into today's picks. So our first play is going to be in the Tigers versus Yankees game. We are going with Aaron Judge to hit a home run. That is at plus 200 odds at FanDuel. Now, right off the bat, I will admit I don't love the plus 200 odds, of course, but I will say this was still a positive expected value play, even at plus 200. Looking at every other book, they have it much more likely to occur in the plus 100s, plus 180s, 190s region. So the plus 200 number, still positive EV. And looking at Judge, the guy's just absurd. He's only played in 83 games so far this year, and he still has 31 home runs. Just an absurd batter. He didn't hit one in his last game, but he hit one in back-to-back games prior to that, so that part's good as well. And this game specifically is about as good of an opportunity that Aaron Judge will ever have in his life to hit a home run. It's one of the juiciest weather games of the day, and he's got a juicy pitching matchup as well. Like I said, every other book has him well below the plus 200 odds, so there is some value here. And looking at Judge, unsurprisingly, his advanced stats are incredible. So we're looking at ISO rate and barrel rate. ISO rate stands for isolated power. In terms of those numbers, anything 25% and above is considered excellent. And for barrel rate, measures how well you hit the barrel of the bat. Anything 15% and above is considered excellent. So with Judge, his ISO rate is at 35.7%. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't have enough at-bats to qualify. That would put him with the leaders in the MLB, very high. But what's really ridiculous is the barrel rate. His barrel rate is at 27.5%. Now, to put into context just how absurd that stat is, the leader in barrel rate in the MLB, this is of qualified batters. Now, all that means is you have enough plate appearances to qualify. That's Shohei Ohtani at 19.3%. Aaron Judge is all the way up at 27.5. So in a game like this, where the weather's extremely juicy, the pitching matchup, is extremely juicy, he's going to barrel up the bat very well, presumably. And if he does, he doesn't even need to hit one as hard as he normally does to send 1 yard. So love Aaron Judge to hit one. He's also on Double Dong Watch today. I believe that's at plus 1,700 odds. I sprinkle a little bit on that as well. Obviously, we will only track whether he hits 1, but I do like for him to hit 2. Next up, in the Mariners versus Reds game, we are going with Teoscar Hernandez to hit a home run. This is at plus 330 odds, also at FanDuel. So this game being played at Red Stadium, unsurprisingly, of course, is another incredibly juicy weather game. For home runs to be hit, you want to target batters in this one. I will admit there is a little bit of a risk with Mariners batters because the pitcher for the Reds is Connor Phillips, who is making his MLB debut. I will say I did look into the matchup a little bit using my source. Ballpark Pal lists this as advantage in favor of Hernandez. And it just looks at the type of pitches that Connor Phillips throws and that he's good at, and the type of pitches that Teoscar Hernandez hits well. And it looks at that and rated this matchup specifically in favor of the batter, which is why I'm comfortable going with this one. And Hernandez has been playing pretty well as of late. Since August 1st, so looking at about a little less than 5 weeks here, he's got a total of 8 home runs hit and an ISO rate of 28.3%. And then if you look even deeper, which is the past 2 weeks, he looks even better. In the past 14 days, he's got an ISO rate of 34.7%. That's Aaron Judge numbers. Again, obviously small sample size, but that's in the past 14 days, ISO rate of 34.7%, and 5 of those 8 home runs that he's hit since August 1st has been hit in the past 14 days. So Hernandez, I do like him quite a bit to hit one for us. And last up, in the Mets versus Nationals game, we are riding with Pete Alonso to hit a home run plus 340 odds at DraftKings. So this one is at DraftKings. Last pick of the evening, love riding with Big Meat Pete. I will say he actually had been on somewhat of a cold streak in the home run department, but in his last game played, he broke out of that in a big way, hitting 2 home runs in the same game. Now that was on September 3rd, as the Mets had a day off yesterday, but still, last time we saw Pete Alonso, he hit 2 in the same game. And we've seen previously from Pete Alonso, even looking at literally just a month ago in August, where he could go on these absurd home run binges. And I'm going to show you 2 separate stretches for Pete Alonso. The first one, this is in a 3-game span. He hit a home run in all 3 of those games. And in the first one of those 3, he hit 2 home runs. So hopefully, if he can continue something similar, he can do that again this time. And then there was another stretch for Pete Alonso, and again in August, where he hit a home run in 4 of 5 days. So the fact that he just hit 2 in his last game, I absolutely love. I also like the fact that this game specifically at Nat Stadium, not a phenomenal weather game. It's still positive, not as good as the previous 2, but still positive. But the fact that he's going up against Patrick Corbin, who we all know is awful. And he's also a lefty who Pete Alonso crushes. So since August 1st, Pete Alonso's ISO rate against left-handed pitching is 72.2%. Obviously, that's a ridiculous number. It's a smaller sample size, but still, that's a ridiculous number. In 14 games, 26 plate appearances, he's hit 4 home runs against lefties in that span. Similar to Judge, I also like for him to hit 2 today, so he is on double dong watch as well. Again, we only track whether he hits 1. That rounds out our 3 picks of the evening. In terms of honorable mentions, I have 2, Cal Raleigh and Giancarlo Stanton. We did get one of our honorable mentions to hit one yesterday, but win or lose, we don't track those. Just wanted to give you them, people that I liked but didn't end up going with. But as for the 3 today, I put 1 unit on all 3 of them individually. I put them in a parlay as well. Hopefully we can go 3-0. If we do, we are going to be rich, but that's all I got for you guys. So again, if you're tailing, comment and let me know. Other than that, remember to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.